Tibetan Buddhism, there is a map of the awakened mind, a mandala.
5 Buddhas, 1 at the center, 4 in the directions. Each one is a poison turned into a wisdom. Here in the south sits the golden one,
Ratnasambhava, the jewel born. His poison is pride, his teaching. That pride, seen through, becomes the gold that sees all as equal.
5 faces, 1 mind,
White, blue, gold, red, green.
each a poison made of wisdom.
Each a Buddha rightly seen. Out to the south, the warm and bright, the golden one, the giving hand, the jewel that grants the deepest wish, is how he sees, not what he hands.
In the south, the golden one,
Warm as a harvest sun,
his open hand is turned to give.
not holding back from anyone.
A jewel rests in his palm,
The gem that grants all needs, but the richest thing he ever gives is not a thing, it's how he sees.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
The poison here is quiet, it wears the face of worth.
The constant little measuring, who stands above, who stands beneath on earth.
It feels like holding your own value,
But look a little more.
it only stands by standing higher.
It needs a someone lower to keep score. So it lifts you up and leaves you lonely on a throne that no one shares.
Pride is the gold that won't be spent.
The wealth that no one bears.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. But turn the gold the other way. Let the measuring dissolve, and the same bright energy of worth sees everyone resolved.
1 ground, 1 nature, 1 same golden beggar and in king.
Not I am more, but all are precious.
The level ground of everything.
This is the wisdom hidden in the pride,
Equality,
made plain.
and the jewel that fulfills every wish says,
There is enough, give it away again.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
They call him the source of precious things, but hear what the jewel is for.
It is not gold to hoard and count.
It is the end of needing more.
The wish it grants is not be richer.
The wish it grants is rest,
The seeing that you lack for nothing,
that you were always, always blessed.
and the strange law of this jewel.
It grows the more it's free.
The hand that opens overflows.
The hand that clutches breeds its need. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ,
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. And by the open downward hand,
The giving gesture, palm turned wide,
because the cure for standing over
is to bend and pour and step beside.
pride builds a wall of being more.
Giving takes the wall away.
You cannot rank above the one
You've not to serve today.
So when the measuring starts again,
Who's better, lesser, lost or grand?
just turn the gold the giving way
And open up your hand.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. 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 Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava.
Bhava Trāṃ. Stay in the south a little longer. The gold is still warm. There is more to know about this jewel and about the pride that hides behind your worth. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
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 They name the poison pride, but it is subtler than the boast. It is the quiet ranking that never stops, better than, less than, ahead, behind. The restless measuring you do 100 times a day and call it knowing your worth. Hear it rightly, then watch it turn to gold.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. It wears two faces, this one poison, the high one and the low. The I am better lifts its chin, the I am worthless hangs its head just so. But look, they're made of the same cloth, both measure self by self, both stand obsessed with where they rank, both set the heart upon a shelf.
The proud and the ashamed are twins, the same coin flipped around.
Both cannot rest, both cannot love, both lost upon comparison's ground.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
But equality is not, we're all the same. It is finer and more true that the gold in you and the gold in them is one same gold shining through.
Not flattening the many into one, not raising one above the rest,
but seeing the one nature equally in every breast, in every breast.
This is Samatā, the level, seeing the king and beggar side by side,
Each worth exactly everything.
each holding the same jewel inside.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. And something quiet happens to the heart when the measuring lets go. The loneliness of the high throne ends, and a warmth begins to flow.
For you were never above or below, you were always on the ground,
One of the countless precious ones,
held equal and unbound.
the pride that walled you in dissolves,
The shame that bent you too,
and what remains is simple gold,
the worth in them,
the worth in you. Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
One more thing remains, the secret of the jewel, and where the gold was hiding all along. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
The wish-fulfilling jewel is real, but not the way we hope. It does not make you richer than the rest. It makes you see you never lacked, and the only way to keep it is to give it away.
This is the secret of the South. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
There is a law that pride can't learn, that only giving knows.
The gold you grip grows cold and small. The gold you pour, it grows. The closed hand keeps a single coin and calls itself secure. The open hand has lost its grip and somehow has so much more.
So give, not to be thanked or seen, not to climb a higher rung.
Give because the jewel is endless and was only yours when flung.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. This is the wealth he really brings, not coins, not gold, not gain, but the deep enoughness underneath that ends the grasping, ends the strain. To know you lack for nothing now that this breath, this hour is full, that you can give because you're rich with a richness nothing can annul.
The poor mind hoards inside a palace.
The rich mind gives inside a cell.
Abundance was never what you held.
It was always how you felt.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. And here is the secret of the South. The golden Buddha is not out there. The jewel that fulfills every wish is the worth you've carried everywhere.
You went out ranking, climbing, proving, chasing gold across the years.
And the gold was in your own open hand, beneath the pride, beneath the fears.
You were not above, you were not below.
You are the jewel all along,
one precious thing among the countless,
equal, golden, and belonging. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ.
Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Om Ratnasambhava Trāṃ. Gold in the south. Pride, seen through, becomes equality.
The recognition that all share one worth.
You do not have to crush your sense of value. You only have to widen it until it holds everyone. And then, like a jewel, give it away.
This is Ratnasambhava,
The jewel born.
the open hand at the southern gate.
Om